This is Stevie St. Julian outside the box in the center again. Only this time it's with a trigger post. The Zionist fascist mafia from the Federal Republic of Germany is once again targeting Jesus and I with their lawless, criminally insane war of despotism on God and humanity. As a target of more than 25 years of lawless, targeted abuse by the likes of Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Elon Muskrat, J.D. Vance, Peter Thiel, Jordan Peterson, and the CIA, the DOD, the DOJ, the FBI, Homeland Security, and the Roman Catholic Synagogue of Satan, Jacob Israel Rothschild, in pursuit of my personal devastation and financial ruin, came knocking at the door to hammer and steal again from an old man, as if my farm, life's work, and life savings wasn't enough despotic criminal injustice for these Zionist whores of Babylon. On January 29th, a Zionist Luciferian puppet monkey money whore, Inspector J. Adams, left a notice of lies. He wrote to justify his intent to unjustly and criminally steal my car, having made no inquiries to the status of the automobile, which is clearly under repair. The car has a good engine and a good transmission, as well as a brand new starter, which, having been installed, is not yet working properly and requires the car being torn down again, which is and was in fact in process when the mafia came and tagged the car. I believe likely because the local developers of our Zionist 15-minute prison cities paid them to. I'd highly suggest a criminal investigation by we the people into the German Zionist mafia-controlled operation of Charlotte government and all public offices and all local city and state government officials in the United States. The New World Order is Satan at war with God, and we are at war with the principalities of Luciferian rulers of the darkness of this world and the spiritual wickedness in high places leading the Roman Empire's Catholic Tower, Babylonian religions and cults. I called and informed Mr. Adams on January 29th that every word he'd written on his notes was a lie, and further stated he had been quite the coward, having not even attempted to discuss the car or talk with me like a human being or a man at all, for targeting the car with his Luciferian lies of ritualistic, satanic despotism. On February 9th, while taking a morning walk, I encountered Mr. Adams, and I told him to his face he was a liar and a coward, and those were the two things God hated most. And I would remember every lie he had written, given the opportunity on the right hand of God to judge his inexcusable failure as a Luciferian puppet monkey, money whore of German Zionist mafia authoritarian movement. Around 6 p.m., my wife returned home from work and walked into the house with a notice from the monkey boy, holding that he would be returning to steal my car and its contents under code enforcement for the World Order of Luciferian Zionist despotism. These people are so ignorant that they're not justifiably called human. And like it, believe it or not, I can prove that is a true fact of real and infallible knowledge. It's defined by Plato, Socrates, and Aristotle. In the first human civilization among Zionist barbarian monkeys to ever bring God's graces to a human civilization. The logic, reason, knowledge, and philosophy of the one true God of absolute truth, without mythological content or gods to define human reality, morality, religion, and the epistemological cornerstones of being an intelligent human being. Like the seven philosopher kings of Judea and Jesus, I seek the truth, speak the truth, and defend the truth for the perfection of my mind, body, and soul in oneness with your mind and our best interest. For communities of brotherhood and the whole human race. See the fruits of my labors at brsinv.com. In the history of the kingdom of David, Peter, and Jesus on my Substack post, in the history of attempting to hold the U.S. government accountable to the laws it does not acknowledge applies to the Luciferian Zionist cult's rule over the U.S. government and the world. All of you beware. The trend of targeting me personally began in 2019, and only Satan knows how long before that. However, I have verifiable evidence my family bloodline was targeted for extinction in 1679, while all of my family's children were placed into leet indentured servitude to the King of England. And the entire nation has been enslaved in perpetual Luciferian despotism since 1803, just like the majority of all human history. Have you forgotten? The world has gone mad living in self-deceit under the Zionist Luciferian rule of the world. Like most all of you, I don't tell stories unless I have real, verifiable, infallible, substantiating evidence in support of my knowledge, opinions, and conclusions. I know for a fact every federal congressional representative since the mafia moved Nixon into the White House is a fascist, Nazi Zionist, foreign asset of the Federal Republic of Germany's mafia empire of despotism. Mafia empire of despotism. A traitor to God, country, and the whole human race. I have already documented that fact on videos in my book. I would suggest you all start educating yourselves on the human history of monarchy despotism and start by understanding the Protestant persecutions during the Enlightenment, the age of reason and common sense of the founding fathers. Focusing on Gallicanism and its objections to rule by the popery of monarchy despotism. And let me end this by congratulating Mr. Adams the Zionist puppet monkey money or child of Satan for his recognition by the Messiah patron of humanity in his generation. My daily life is a state of perpetual trauma, induced by a society of liars, frauds, and criminally insane adult children not worthy of calling themselves humans. I have to wonder if any of my work and documentation has ever been seen the light of day outside the Zionist ball of techno-Babylonian idiots, whores, silencing people for free speech. Inspectors J. Adams, can you understand what you read? Do you comprehend what you have read? Have you wrestled with understanding God? Do you have human intellectual knowledge of God? Jesus did at the age of 12. Are you an apathetic, indolent monkey living a fantasy life as a fool of Luciferian mafia mob rule and giving your minds, bodies, and souls to Satan for money? Do you have a clue about the reality of Lucifer's rule over your minds, bodies, and souls? Let God be, child. The world's a whole lot better knowing Mother's grace, peace, and love than living in the narcissistic hell of the patriarchal, insane human playing God and calling himself the angel of darkness, temporal Lord Satan, Jacob, Israel, Rothschild, of the Federal Republic of Germany, and the synagogue of satanic religions and cults. The oligarchy of Satan has a documented biblical history of despotic rule, abuse, and war on human civilization, spanning all recorded human history from the Jacobin tree of human knowledge. The Garden of Eden, the world's perfection of the human race, is understanding reality requires an adult state of mind that knows Mother's peace and love on earth requires unity in the royal we of Gaius to defend the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth of God's laws in the name of life, liberty, freedom, justice, and equality for all of God's creation. Does he who would disgrace his own humanity in the given name, Adams, understand who is defending my life, property, and honor for the human rights of all humanity? Who are you going to serve, Mr. Adams? The same satanic Luciferian mafia as a Congresswoman Alma Adams, or God, country, and the whole human race? The good you do will be judged just as harshly as the lies you tell yourself.